How's everybody doing today? Today I just wanted to go over a little video which will explain Excel formulas. Excel formulas are really the most important part of Excel. It's what makes the software really work and do what it's able to do. So the worksheet I'm using is called Excel Examples 1, which is available to you in this link. You can just download that. What I'm going to start with is just some equal sign sum and equal sign average formulas. We did a TIGA worksheet earlier, and what I'd like to do is I would like to just get a sum for January. So what I'm going to do is I type in equal sign sum. I need an opening parenthesis. Then I just have to tell Excel which cells I want to be part of this sum. I really want B4 through B8 to be part of this sum. So I can type B4 colon B8. The colon represents through. If I hit enter, what I get is I get a number which is the sum of cells B4 through B8. I can also do an equal sign average if I'd like an average. Equal sign average. B4 through B8. And that'll give me an average. If I'd like to do the next cell over, I can say, alright, which cells do I want to include in this one? In this case, it's going to be C4 through C8. And I could do the same thing with my average. I wanted to show you just a couple other things that you can do. Excel gives you a lot of different ways that you can create formulas. I'm going to do March. I'm going to type equal sign sum. If you don't feel like typing in the actual cell addresses, once you get to this point, you can highlight the area you'd like to include. What that does for you is it kind of does the typing for you. You still have to include the ending parenthesis, but then you hit enter and you're all set. Another thing that you can do is you can start to use the copy command. If I have a cell formula here, equal sign sum D4 through D8, and I'd like to copy it over, what you want to look for is look for the little square box on the bottom right corner. If I get my cursor right on that box, it does change from a larger cross to a smaller one. If I click now and I drag over, it will copy that formula. I just copied one cell to one cell here, but you can copy one cell to multiple cells. So I click, I drag here, here, and here. Now I've copied this one formula to 3 different cells. The beauty of Excel is it will change the formula as you copy it. For example, in this cell, I had equal sign average B4 through B8. But as I copied it over, it changed the formula to C4 through C8 and D4 through D8. This is what we refer to as a relative cell address, meaning it will change relative to its position in the worksheet. If I wanted to do a total up here, I could say, alright, that's equal sign sum. In this case, I'm just going horizontally instead of vertically. So I decide to highlight, so that's B4 through E4. I add my parenthesis. I get a number. In this case, I'm just going to copy this down. So I copied it all the way down here. I'm going to do an equal sign average. Same deal, I want the same cells. I want to be sure not to include my total in my average, because that will throw off my average. But I've got my equal sign average. I copy it down, and pretty much done. Another thing that you might want to do, a lot of times in a homework I will ask you to format cells. So you'll be required maybe to change these all to currency 0 decimal or currency 2 decimal. I'm going to highlight this entire group of cells. Now, Excel gives us about 4 ways we can format cells. Personally, I like to just highlight it. I like to right click on it and select Format Cells. I do want to go to currency here. I am going to accept the default, which is 2 decimals, and I'm going to say OK. So now I've got currency 2 decimals. That's a little bit with just the equal sign sum and the equal sign average formulas. I did want to go over some different types of formulas with you besides just equal sign sum and equal sign average. This particular worksheet has several sheets. I'm going to click on Rockhead. Now Rockhead is a little different. It's not using so much equal sign sum and average. It's using just cell reference formulas. So I have here total sales. I've got cost of goods sold. I want to figure out gross profit. Now if you weren't sure what gross profit was, it tells you down here. It's total sales minus cost of goods sold. Whenever you want to do a formula like this, you look at, well, where's total sales? All right, that's in cell B4. Where's cost of goods sold? It's in cell B5. So if I go to this cell, I type equal sign B4 minus B5. What I've done is pretty much just substituted where these numbers were for the cell reference. I hit enter and I get my result. You can kind of look at it in your head and make sure it makes sense. All right, it looks like it made sense. Looks like it's correct. The next one down, I see I've got net income. Gross profit minus operating expenses is net income. So I can say, well, that's pretty similar. Here's the cell for net income. I say that's B6 minus B7. Always start with the equal sign. B6 minus B7. I hit enter. It says, all right, got another number. Here's an example of one where we need to multiply. Income tax. How do I do it? It's net income times 46%. I can use 46% or I can use 0.46. But I look at where's net income. That's in cell B8 times 0.46. So again, equal sign B8 times 0.46. I get my number. There it is. I've got one more to do. After tax income is net income minus income tax. Again, that's a pretty simple one. Looks like it's B8 minus B9. So equal sign B8 minus B9. Hit enter, and I'm all done. A couple points I just want to make. Sometimes people get real cued into the equal sign sum and the equal sign average, and they use those formulas to do multiplication and everything else. You really only want to use equal sign sum if you are summing a column or a row of numbers. If you're not, then don't use it. In all these cases, we didn't need it. Now I'm going to show you something that's really probably the best thing about Excel. The fact that we can do formulas like these and we can copy formulas, that's great. But what makes Excel so powerful is if you change any of your numbers, all your formulas automatically update. So let's say I made a mistake here. It wasn't 542,877. It was 524,877. Now if you've been doing this with a calculator or pencil and paper, all these yellow items or formulas, you'd have to redo that. In Excel, all you have to do is type in the new number. So I type in my new number, 524,877. I hit enter. Everything updates. You're done. So if you have a large estimate with subtotals and grand totals, or you're an accountant and you have a balance sheet which is linked to an income statement which is linked to a statement of owner's equity, if you change one item here, all your other numbers change. That's what makes Excel what it is. That's why people use Excel. I'm going to go back to TIGA and also just show you this. What if I changed my 2544? Maybe it was really supposed to be 2455. I hit enter. This changed, this changed, this changed, this changed. So just on this one change for a number, all these numbers changed. Anyhow, hopefully this was helpful to you. The homework that you have to do shouldn't be vastly different than what I've shown you here. So, good luck. We'll see you next time.